What's good, Marvin Garden enthusiasts? Today we got how good was prime James Harden actually. So a lot of y'all motherfuckers, y'all forget how good James Harden was, bro. Rockets James Harden. Bro, even game 1 against the Mavericks, like, that dude took me back, bro. Like, damn, I miss prime James Harden, bro. I don't know what happened to him. I don't know what happened. It's sad, bro. Hopefully he could pick it up, you know what I'm saying? But damn, this dude in his prime, he was just different. Let's check it out, though.
Team with James Harden is the same. You know, he's not doing this off the whim.
That step back, used to embarrass my. He even hit Jamal Murray with that shit. I was like, fuck. He used to embarrass motherfuckers, bro. This dude was just him back in like the mid 2010s.
Oh, he stared at Wesley Johnson and then he hit the three.
Stared him down. This dude was disrespectful as fuck. Oh shit, man. Because at Oklahoma City, he was more like a sixth man, I would say. Maybe more than that, but when he went to the Rockets, bro, he became one of the best players in the league.
He's an NBA MVP.
In the playoffs, he was, but in this regular season, though, bro, one of the best players in the league.
A 10-time All-Star, a 2-time assists leader, and a 3-time scoring champion. At his peak, many considered him the greatest scorer of all time. So, just how good was prime James Harden actually?
Like, bro, how does this dude not have a ring? That's crazy.
James was never supposed to play in the NBA. It's a miracle that he's even alive. His mother had several miscarriages, and after she finally gave birth to James, she nicknamed him Lucky. Harden grew up in Compton during the 90s drug wars, and to escape gang violence, James turned to basketball. But because he had asthma and loved fast food, James was usually the slowest and least conditioned kid in every game.
Damn.
Despite his tough upbringing and physical deficiencies, James loved to hoop, and he focused on becoming an elite ball handler and shooter. When he grew to 6'6", Harden's game blossomed. And as a high school senior, James became a McDonald's All-American. As a sophomore at Arizona State, Harden averaged 20 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists, and was named Conference Player of the Year and a consensus first-team All-American. Going into the 2009 NBA Draft, Harden still looked a little chubby, and many scouts believed he had limited athletic potential.
That's a big thing with Harden, bro. He's been having weight issues and stuff. Probably damn near his whole life. It's crazy. Cause y'all remember that picture, right? When he was overweight as a motherfucker. I think he was still playing for Houston, and I think there was another picture that surfaced like of him with the Brooklyn Nets. Like, bro has had weight issues his whole life.
But after he dominated at the NBA Draft Combine, showing amazing agility and explosiveness, OKC selected him with the 3rd overall pick. Harden joined the most talented young team in the league, with KD, Westbrook, and Serge Ibaka. And unlike most high draft picks, James didn't have...
Like Oklahoma City fans, like, bro, if y'all didn't win with this team, I don't know if y'all will ever win.
to wait long for the team to become successful. OKC won 50 games in his rookie season, and the next year the Thunder made it to the conference finals. But it was during his 3rd season when James started to become a big problem for everyone in the NBA. Coming off the bench, Harden dominated opposing second units, averaging 17 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists, dominantly winning the 6th Man of the Year award. He was often compared to Manu Ginobili, another lefty 6'6" shooting guard who came off the bench, with a similar offensive style and passing creativity. In the playoffs, OKC dominated the West, losing just 3 games on their way to the 2012 NBA Finals. But at the biggest stage, OKC proved to be too inexperienced, and LeBron James wasn't planning on losing his 3rd NBA Finals. The Heat defeated the Thunder 4-1, and Harden was used as a scapegoat for the loss. Unlike Manu Ginobili, who was always super clutch, Harden disappeared in the finals. He was shooting terribly and couldn't buy a bucket. And defensively, it was even worse. The media labeled James as a choker,
Harden?
but that was a one-dimensional look at things, because Harden was still really young. He also...
It's weird, bro. James Harden just disappears in the playoffs, bro. I don't know, man.
Played with two ball-dominant players in KD and Russ, and coach Scott Brooks was unable to fully incorporate all three of them. Still, OKC's core players were all under 25 years old, and everybody believed that the trio of KD, Russ, and Harden would become a dynasty. But when the offseason came, the Thunder's owner didn't want to pay the luxury tax, so he lowballed Harden on his contract extension.
Fucking stupid.
James wanted $60 million over 4 years, and OKC wasn't willing to go over 55. GM Sam Presti was then forced to trade Harden in what was one of the worst financial decisions in NBA history.
Yep.
Houston jumped on the opportunity to get one of the most talented guards in the NBA, and they got Harden for 20 cents on the dollar. However, some people still believed Harden was only good as a sixth man, and there were doubts about him leading his own team. But it took James just one game to shut up the critics. In his Rockets debut, the Beard dropped 37 points, a career-high 12 assists, 6 rebounds, and 4 steals, in a 105-96 win over the Pistons. 2 days later, he scored 45 points against the Hawks, and those 82 points were the most any player scored in his first 2 games with an NBA team. Coach Kevin McHale soon gave him all the authority and ultimate green light, which allowed Harden to develop a wide arsenal of weapons. The Beard immediately became an all-star, averaging 26, 6, and 5, and pushed the Rockets to the playoffs for the first time in 4 years. In 2014, Houston added Dwight Howard. But despite big hopes, the two superstars never clicked.
Damn.
James wanted to push the pace as much as possible and use transition
out
as an easy way to score points, while Dwight felt that he should get more touches in the post. But Harden forced the pick and roll, and he viewed Dwight as only a screener and a lob threat, which were actually Dwight's strengths. But the big man didn't want to be a role player. Despite Howard's wishes, it was clear who was the best player on the team. When he had the ball in his hands,
Harden, that was James Harden's team, bro. Come on, dude. That's selfish.
His game looked like a basketball sixth sense, dancing on the
verge. Don't get me wrong. Dwight at the Orlando Magic, that dude was a problem. We're going to check that out, too. How good was prime Dwight Howard? But come on, Dwight, bro. That was James Harden's team, bro. Just do your role, man. Like, y'all notice with the Denver Nuggets, every player on that team has a role. And they follow it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's team chemistry and that's team winning basketball. When every player is synced into their role, that's how you win games. That's how you win championships.
Urge of talent and pure instinct. Harden developed all assets on the offensive game to absolute perfection. His Euro step was bad when he first came to the league, but he perfected it over the years and made it slower and more methodical. And it was soon the best Euro step in the NBA. The way Harden flailed his arms on drives, tangling the arms of defenders to draw a foul, was revolutionary, genius, and disgusting all at the same time. But the best aspect of his game was how the Beard steamrolled to the basket, read the defensive reactions, and then in 1 millisecond made the perfect counter move. In 2015, Harden was named to the All-NBA First Team and finished second in the NBA MVP voting, behind Steph Curry. However, many people believed Harden was robbed, which was confirmed by the players, as James was later voted as the MVP by the Players Association. And even though the Rockets made it to the 2015 Conference Finals, it was clear that the relationship between their two superstars was dysfunctional. Almost as dysfunctional as deciding what to eat every day, constantly having to go out and buy groceries.
Are you fucking serious?
Opportunity. After a disappointing 2016 season that saw the Rockets get bounced in the first round, James and Dwight weren't on speaking terms anymore, and Howard was soon traded to Atlanta.
You don't have a team
For the 2017 season, the Rockets hired Mike D'Antoni as their head coach. D'Antoni was long aware of the power of the three-pointer, and with the blessings of the analytics team and GM Daryl Morey, the Rockets decided to shoot as many threes as humanly possible. Modifying the 7 seconds or less offense he used with the Suns, D'Antoni gave another meaning to the term run and gun. With over 40 threes per game, Houston broke the all-time NBA record in three-pointers attempted in a season. With 3,306 attempted threes, they shattered the previous record by 714, shooting 27% more threes than the 2016 Warriors. Harden thrived in this fast-paced offense, and because D'Antoni made him a point guard and had the whole offense running through him, James was stringing together triple-doubles like it was a video game. Due to the extremely high usage rate, Harden's numbers exploded. On December 31, 2016, Harden recorded a triple-double with 53 points, 17 assists, and 16 rebounds in a 129-122 win over the New York Knicks, becoming the first player in NBA history with a 50-15-15 stat line. On January 27th, he dropped 51 points.
This dude was like one of the best players in the fucking league, bro. That offense they were running, D'Antoni's offense, shit. How did they not win? I remember that, I think it was the Western Conference Finals or something. That game against the Warriors, they had like 27 missed threes. I guess that shit came back to bite them in the ass, the way they were running that offense. Fuck.
13 rebounds and 13 assists in a 123-118 win over the 76ers, becoming the first player in NBA history with multiple 50-point triple-doubles in a season. The Beard finished the regular season with 22 triple-doubles and became the first player in NBA history to finish the regular season with at least 2,000 points, 900 assists, and 600 rebounds. James was the league leader in assists with 11.2 dimes per game and second in scoring with 29 points on average. Harden finished second in MVP voting behind Russell Westbrook, who averaged a triple-double for the year. Despite Harden's individual brilliance, in the second round of the playoffs, the Rockets were no match for Kawhi Leonard's Spurs, who defeated them in 6 games. On July 8, 2017, Harden signed a 4-year contract extension with the Rockets for $160 million, giving him a total 6-year deal with $228 million guaranteed, the richest contract in NBA history at the time. The Rockets added Chris Paul and PJ Tucker to the team, and suddenly, Harden had the most talented teammates since his last year in OKC. However, NBA skeptics believed Paul and Harden wouldn't be able to play together because they are both ball-dominant point guards, and that Harden's numbers would suffer because of CP3. But neither happened. Chris and James coexisted perfectly, and the Rockets weren't so dependent on Harden to make every play. Because Paul relieved him of heavy ball-handling duties, James started playing the best defense of his life, while still being the most dangerous scorer in the NBA. Then, on January 30th, with a 114-107 win over the Magic, Harden became the first player in NBA history with a 60-point triple-double. The Rockets finished the regular season as the #1 seed for the first time in franchise history, with a franchise-best 65-17 record. Harden won his first scoring title, averaging 30.4 points per game. The Rockets breezed past the first 2 playoff rounds to secure a matchup against the scariest team in the NBA, the defending champion Golden State Warriors. Despite Houston being the #1 seed, the Warriors' death lineup seemed unbeatable, and they were the heavy favorites to win the series. Still, after 5 games, the Rockets had a 3-2 series lead, and it seemed like they could do the impossible.
Damn, they were 65-7. Goddamn.
But in Game 6, Chris Paul injured his hamstring and was ruled out for the remainder of the series. It all seemed lost. But in Game 7, Houston played great without Paul. They limited the best offense in the NBA to just 43 points and held an 11-point lead at the half.
How did they lose? But 27 missed? Oh my God.
But in the second half, the Rockets missed an NBA record 27 consecutive three-pointers.
That's horrible.
Making just 7 out of 44
Why didn't y'all just adjust to something else, bro? If y'all weren't making the shots, golly, it's a win or go home.
Shots from deep.
Come on,
With
bruh.
that kind of cold streak, Harden and company lost the lead, the game, and the series.
That was it.
1/2 of basketball. 2 games.
Bro, that was it. That was their shot, and they blew it. It sucks. It sucks.
Game 6 and 7. 1/2 of basketball. We just didn't have the same energy that we had in that first half. Our pace.
Nope.
So it's extremely frustrating.
But it wasn't all negative, because Harden was named the NBA Most Valuable Player, finally winning the award after 2 second-place finishes. Now,
Well
after the
deserved.
best regular season in franchise history, it was logical for the Rockets to lose some steam. However, nobody expected their complete downfall. For the 2019 season, Houston lost.
But that was their chance to win a championship, and they blew it. God.
Defensive pieces in Trevor Ariza and Luc Mbah a Moute, and replaced them with Carmelo Anthony, who made their offense stagnant and their defense leak more than the Titanic. The Rockets
That's
were
one
badly
thing about you, Melo, that pissed me off, bro. You didn't play fucking defense, man. Come on. Melo,
organized
he was always like that. He didn't play defense.
and disunited. And then they also lost Chris Paul due to an injury. With an 11-15 losing record and without their second-best player, it seemed like the Rockets would miss the playoffs. And then James Harden went ballistic. The Beard dropped 30 or more points in 32 straight games. In 18 of those games, Harden scored 40 or more points. 4 times he had at least 50, including a 61-point performance at Madison Square Garden. James had a streak of 5 straight games over 40 points. And in a totally different 5-game stretch, he averaged 52.
Yeah, bro.
Harden finished the
season. Bro was the best player in the league at that time, man. If you say he wasn't, bro.
Averaging 36.1 points, 7.5 assists, and 6.6 rebounds, becoming just the 4th player in NBA history to average 36 points per season after Chamberlain, Jordan, and Elgin Baylor. During his historic season, the Beard changed basketball forever. Before 2019, Harden's left drive was arguably the most devastating offensive move in the entire NBA. The sheer volume of his drives put constant pressure on the defense, and his playmaking brilliance limited the amount of help the teams could send at him. Perfect ball control and silky dribbling combined with exceptional strength and an elite first step allowed Harden to create an advantage right at the start of the action. You knew he was going to go left 80% of the time. But because he'd do something else the other 20%, you couldn't cover him. Even if everything failed, his head feints and foul drawing would bail him out. And that's what made him an ultimate scoring machine. But in 2019, Harden was no longer using the left drive as his primary source of offense. Instead, he perfected a signature shot that was basically unguardable, the step-back three-pointer. The move was so effective that he started using it often. Abnormally often. Harden was launching so many step-back threes that opposing guards started defending him in a way that was almost comical. It's a shot that can't be blocked. So defenders actually started guarding him from behind just to stop him from shooting a three. More than 60% of Harden's shot attempts were threes. And because of his ability to rise from any
That's how unguardable he was, bruh. Motherfuckers was guarding him from behind. Bro, tell me another player that has that much of an impact, bro. This dude, James Harden, was the best player in the league at that time. At least in the regular season.
To the court at any time and to create an outside shot every time he wanted. He reached a new level of offensive wizardry. And with the insane numbers, the barrage of threes, and the second highest usage rate in NBA history, the Rockets started to win games and were actually better without CP3. Harden's isolations were the beginning and end of all the Rockets' actions, but it was all part of a team concept, and it wasn't like he was just jacking up shots while others stood in the corner. When Harden pressured the defense with frantic dribbling, the rest of the team would move, cut, screen, and force the defenders to constantly rotate. Houston's ball movement was not at the same level as the Warriors, but their player movement was off the charts. Although Harden had a huge number of shots, you couldn't say that his game was selfish. His assist numbers confirm this, as Harden was 3rd in the league in assists per game. If he sensed a defensive lapse, James quickly passed the ball to a center, Clint Capella, or sent it to the corners to PJ Tucker or Eric Gordon. Since that 11-15 record at the beginning of the season, Houston won 42 out of the next 56 games and made the playoffs with a home court advantage. However, in the second round of the playoffs, the Warriors proved to be too strong once again, despite Harden averaging 35, 7, and 5 in the series.
Rockets, how did y'all win a championship with this prime James Harden? And I don't know if he'll ever come back. That's the worst thing about it, bro. Damn near makes me want to cry, bro. Y'all should have at least got one. At least one. Man, I know y'all Rockets fans are sick as fuck that y'all never won a championship with this dude. Because he was just outstanding. Fuck, man.
After the season, Giannis won the MVP, leaving Harden's historic season without a trophy. And in the next few years, James changed teams, had several injuries, and his effectiveness decreased. And he always came up short in the playoffs. But if we only look at his prime with the Rockets, it's fair to say that there were only a few players in the history of basketball who forced defenses to make so many adjustments and who were the ultimate triple threats. Other than LeBron with the Cavs, there was nobody in NBA history whose team's entire offense ran through their hands as much as the Rockets did through Harden's. There are less than 20 NBA players ever who redefined how the game was played and how it was officiated, and Harden was one of them. But despite being a basketball genius, James was never, and never will be, a favorite among neutral fans. Harden flopped too much in the past. He draws too many fouls, which kills
That's something I will say though, bro. This dude was a flopping merchant.
the pace of the game.
Shit, sometimes it's effective though. I don't really respect flopping though, but shit, it works.
He dribbles too much.
Sometimes.
James Harden, to me, what he's accomplished, 3 years ago, we said, I would hate to play with this guy.
Yeah.
He dribble, and then shoots a step back three.
He doesn't always play defense and spends a lot of time in strip clubs. When it was most important, Harden wasn't clutch. And he has a rich history of inefficient shooting in the playoffs. Though he hasn't worn a ring, there's no denying that Harden is a brilliant basketball player. Out of all shooting guards ever, only Jordan, Kobe, and D-Wade had better careers than James. Even if you dislike him, you have to admit that prime James Harden was a basketball innovator and one of the best offensive players of all time.
Hey, I'm gonna check out this video. But hey, bro, I'm not like all y'all weird NBA fans that turn on players all the time. I give respect where it's due. Harden was running the league at that time, bro, the mid-2010s. He was the best player in the league by far, man. Bro was just unstoppable, unguardable. It changed the way motherfuckers played defense against him. They'd play defense from behind, so he'd stop shooting threes. That's amazing. Fuck, man, but bro just doesn't show up in the playoffs. Y'all think James Harden will ever get a ring? Let me know. But I'm out, bro. Shout out to James Harden, though. That dude, feared the beard. He was something special. And I don't know if we'll ever get that version of James Harden back. Man.